Hi everyone, my name is Courtney and I am the current salon manager of Store 499. I am a Redken certified hair colorist and a master designer too in beautiful Rancho Santa Margarita. I've been with the company for 6 years, but I've been in the hair industry for over 11 years. So prior to us getting started, I wanted to give you an idea of what exactly we're going to be doing. It is the Crimson Highlight. We're going to do a modern shag on her and just really go in and texturize her haircut for her. We did the Redken pre-art treatment on top. Pre-art is an amazing and very intense clarifier that Redken created, and it looks like this. It removes buildup, but most importantly, it equals out every hair type's porosity. So I put this all over Tawny's damp hair. I did not rinse. I let it process for about 5 minutes, then took Redken's hair cleansing cream. So I applied the hair cleansing cream to Tawny and I lathered it and rinsed it. And then after that, I applied the extreme conditioner. And what that does is it helps fortify the hair, add protein into it, but also, cut back on the damage for Tawny's hair when we are processing it today. So today we're using City Beads. I used an entire tube, which is almost 3 ounces of the Ballet Pink and about 1 inch only of the Midtown Magenta. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mix that up and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so now we're gonna get into sectioning. Sectioning is really the most important part of either color or a haircut. So I'm going from the high point of the head all the way to the top of her ear. And each of these sections are going to be horizontal parting. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab my rat tail comb. I'm gonna be working in inch subsections, and what that means is just giving about 1 inch of ease between every single foil that I do. I am gonna have 2 foils butted up against each other, and they're gonna be 1/8 of an inch slices. So you wanna make sure, guys, that you're able to see and read a newspaper through these sections. It never should be thicker than this. I'm gonna go ahead and fold this foil over and place this underneath. You want to make sure that you're pulling that hair pretty taut, which has a lot of tension in there. And I want to make sure that I am, feathering that color up towards her root. You never want to swirl your hair towards the bottom. You want to almost fold it over. Now I'm going to go ahead and blur with my handy dandy blur brush, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just blur that right on up to the root here. So she's nice and saturated now. Now what I don't want to do is I don't want to fold this up right now, because what that's going to do is cause a crease in my foil. So I'm just going to place this one right on top. And to make sure that it latches on, I'm just going to fold these little guys over. Okay, so that is my first section. Now I want to double up my slices, so I'm going to do one more here. Now, in order for it to be a brick layering effect, I'm gonna move it over just a tad, probably about 1/2 inch. That way, not all of these colors are lying on one another. And now, being that I have these foils up towards the front of her hairline, I almost want to move them back a little bit. So more towards that section right over here. So we'll do one more section right through here, so that way all of this will kind of lay over it and it'll be a nice pretty ribbons of pink. Okay. We're going to be doing the exact same pattern that I did on her left side on the right side, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes and we're now ready to rinse out Tawny's hair. So I'm going to use Genius Wash by Redken. It is their hair cleansing cream, and the reason why I like to use this on City Beads is because there's no sudsing action going on, so it's not going to strip out any of the color for me. Also, I am going to do the Redken chemistry shop treatments. So I want to make sure that this pink stays in as long as possible, so I am going to do the color extend right here, and the all soft as well to make her hair feel nice and soft and shiny. Okay? After we apply this though, we do put in the Chemistry Shop Fix treatment, and what that is it brings down their pH. So we're gonna do the 3.5 right here. That way it's nice and supple and soft, and she can have healthy and amazing hair. So as you can see, she's curly, and what happens when it's curly is it gets frizzy. So we're gonna use the Redken Outshine, so 01, and the reason why I love this one is because it's an anti-frizz polishing milk, and the 1 means that there's no hold at all. So this one is one of my all-time favorite leave-in conditioners. It has about 25 benefits, and the main one is it's gonna even out the porosity of her hair, make her hair feel nice and soft and supple, and also be able to get a comb through it, so it's very moisturizing. Now she is all smoothed out, ready to go for our haircut. And basically with this haircut, and the reason why I love it so much is that it's a really organic cut. So I'm going to show you the basics and how we create this look, but it really is up to kind of your interpretation. So I am going to again section her off. So with this haircut, we're actually going to start on the left side. So I'm just going to go ahead and again clip this right out of my way. So I'm going to go through and do a diagonal forward section, and what that means to me is I like to think of a marble. So a marble should fall to the side of the head or towards the front of the head. So that's how I think of it. A lot of this haircut is just about texture. So I'm gonna go ahead and with my wide teeth comb, because what's the best about the wide teeth is that it's creating no tension at all. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm not gonna take much off her length, and what I'm gonna do is just bring this all the way down, and I'm just going to point cut into her length. And the reason for point cutting into her length is that I'm just removing bulk. I'm pushing this not too hard into her back, but I wanna make sure that I'm just nice and straight. So this will be my last section, and really that's just gonna mostly be her layering anyway, but I'm just gonna double check. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move through that next section. So I wanna make sure that I am also cutting the front length as well. And the reason why I'm gonna do it this way versus what we've learned is I like a little bit of added length towards the front. So when I'm over directing it to the back, it's going to cause a lot more length in that front area versus if I were gonna cut that corner off. I'm just directing this all to the back. Really, all I have to just take off is just a little bit of a corner right here, nothing crazy, just to make sure that everything evens out. Over that ear, guys, is just so important that you do not use too much tension, because you can definitely create a hole that way. And that's right again into her layering. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. So there is a distinct difference between point cutting, guys. When you're going in sideways like that, you're definitely cutting length, but you really want to watch yourself and make sure that you're going in forward and watching your hand position with your shears. So now we're just gonna go completely horizontal, guys. You wanna make sure that you're leaving out that inch of ease right here of her perimeter, because you definitely do not want to be cutting that off. With this, we wanna make sure that we are pinching and talking. So no slide cutting, no swooping. This is gonna be an exaggerated movement. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna create a C-like motion. So you wanna make sure that you're doing this movement every time. So just barely moving my shears together and not bailing out at the last minute. But it's creating this really nice texture through here. So we're gonna do this again, and you're gonna just keep going up through the sections of her head. So I'm gonna go through and do the rest of the head now. So it's super important with this haircut that you have her head down. So you're really just gonna be taking a look at where she looks the heaviest. Pick up a piece. This is where it's feeling a little bit heavier. And again, with the C-like motion. And we're gonna go through and style her just how the picture is. Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna show you the end result. Thank you so much, you guys. I really hope that you got a lot out of this video and that it was informative for you. But also, thank you so much for taking the time to watch it and considering me for the salon district educator position. Thanks so much. Bye.